The station platform flashes underneath the neon sign. A dozen sleepy passengers are standing in a line. I bought a one-way ticket to a city in the north to flee the situation that was going back and forth. The steam is rising slowly from the belly of the beast. This midnight cold is blowing from the valleys of the east. I look across my shoulder at the city lights behind, with 100 contradictions rolling heavy through my mind. You were sleeping on the mattress when I packed my leather case. I didn't leave a message in that suffocating place. The engine gave a whistle like a signal of distress. A metal rotor pulled me from this complicated mess. The conductor waves a lantern and the iron wheels rotate, a heavy movement forcing us to compromise with fate. The scenery is vanishing into a sea of black, and there is no mechanic who can put us on the track. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, a traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. I watch my own reflection in the dirty window pane, juxtaposed against the drops of heavy summer rain. The passengers around me are all staring at their phone, a congregation of the lost who prefer to be alone. The rhythm of the metal rails is hypnotic to the ear, a steady beat that drummed away my reservation fear. I wonder if you woke up yet and noticed I was gone, or if you'll only realize when you see the morning dawn. The conductor checks my ticket with a sympathetic glance. He knows that people on this coach are running from romance. We are a collection of the broken and the bruised, who chose to be abandoned rather than to be abused. The next stop is a junction where the tracks begin to split, a geographical expression of the way that we just quit. I could switch to another line and head back to your arms, but my intuition warns me of the volatile alarms. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, a traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Click, pace, track, change, speed up the pace. Get me far away from the memory of your face. The whistle is a scream that echoes through the mountain pass, as we shatter every illusion like a sheet of fragile glass. You can pull the emergency brake, but it's too late to stall. The locomotive is moving, and it's gonna take it all. Chug, chug, chug. The engine sighs as the city dies. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No, a fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, the final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book, without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walked down to the post box at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slot, reviewing every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you'll slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began. We spent our teenage summers under stadium bleachers, ignoring all the warnings from our worried school teachers. We drank cheap soda from aluminum cans, making grand, unrealistic and magnificent plans. You had a skateboard with the graphics worn off, laughing at the future with the arrogant scoff. We carved our initials in the gymnasium floor, believing that our innocence would last evermore. But adolescence vanishes like smoke from a match, leaving only memories that we cannot reattach. The graduation ceremony came and it went, and all that sovereign energy was permanently spent. I see you working now behind a corporate desk, your wild hair tamed into something picturesque. We traded our rebellion for a steady paycheck, leaving the remains of our adventure a wreck. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight. The years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. I found an old mixtape in the glove compartment tray with songs we used to scream along to every single day. The tape is warped from the heat of July, just like the confidence they used to glorify our sky. I remember when we swore we would never grow old or conform to the expectations that the society sold. But the system is a grinder that is heavy and slow, crushing all the impulses that we used to show. You don't wear your leather jacket anymore, it's hanging in the closet by the basement pantry door. You speak in vocabulary that is clinical and dry, without a single spark of rebellion in your eye. We became the very citizens we used to despise, with calculated answers and conventional ties. The playground is a parking lot of bitumen and stone, where we sit inside our vehicles completely alone. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight. The years we threw away without a single proper fight. Losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. Inside your sluggish brain, but the energy is missing and the vocal cords are tired, and the wild imagination is permanently expired. We are just two adults paying mortgage and rent, regretting every single moment that we casually misspent. Young hearts, old smarts, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. Oh, we ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. You fade, long shades, age. There is no thunder or a lightning display, just a heavy gray canopy obscuring the day. The leaves on the maple trees are turning upside down. a silent alert to the citizens of this town. We sit in the parlor without turning on the lamp, as the air in the residence grows heavy and damp. You are folding your laundry with a meticulous care, ignoring the electrical tension in the air. A loud argument would be a welcome relief to break the momentum of this gathering grief. But we speak in low whispers like we are inside a church, while our emotional stability is left on a perch. The rain starts to fall, but it doesn't make a sound as it absorbs into the dry, unyielding ground. A stealthy disaster that is taking its time to erode the foundations of our youth sublime. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. I watch a single droplet track down the window pane, a miniature river of the silent summer rain. It doesn't rattle the glass or make a dramatic scene, it just creates a barrier that settles between your side of the table and the sector I claim, as we silently assign the institutional blame for the slow expiration of the passion we fed without a single aggressive syllable being said. The carpet is soaking from the moisture below, where the hidden underground springs begin to overflow. The mold is accumulating behind the drywall sheets, a secret decay that the architecture meets. We pretend everything is structurally sound and secure, while we watch the deterioration that we have to endure. A silent catastrophe under a domestic roof, where the lack of communication is the ultimate proof. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Open the floodgates, let the torrents expand, drown the remains of this fabricated land. But the downpour is muffled and the energy is low, and the internal rivers are sluggish and slow. So we sit in the dampness as the ceilings cave in, absorbing the consequences of our quiet sin. Drip, drop, it won't stop. Submerge, submerge. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Silent rain, drowning pain, drowning pain, deluge. walk along the perimeter of the industrial district zone. Underneath the orange sodium lamps, entirely alone. The asphalt is shimmering from the recent autumn shower, and the municipal clock tower strikes the midnight hour. I pass the storefronts with their iron grills pulled down tight, a bleak urban landscape in the middle of the night. I remember when we strolled here, holding hands in the spring, before our affection became a completely disposable thing. The alleyways are cluttered with debris and discarded crates, a geographical reflection of our unfortunate separate fates. I see my breath condensing in the chilly morning air as I search for your shadow in the public market square. But the citizens are strangers with their collars pulled up high, averting their gazes as they hurry quickly by. We used to own this neighborhood, we knew every single lane, but now it's just a maze that is amplifying my pain. The City Planning Commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. I found a graffiti drawing on the brick warehouse wall that we painted together right before the final four. The spray paint is flaking and the colors are obscure, a visual reminder of a bond they couldn't endure. A police cruiser passes with its sirens flashing blue, an intrusive interruption to my memories of you. I turned down a side street to avoid the flashing light, disappearing further into the shadows of the night. The subway station entrance is a gaping concrete maw, sucking in the workers under the municipal law. I look down the staircase, but I cannot find the strength to traverse the underground system for its total linear length. I prefer the surface even if the wind is biting cold, because the subterranean tunnels make me feel incredibly old. I am a pedestrian without a destination or a home, condemned for eternity through these outer sectors to roam. The City Planning Commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. stand on the curb while the city rushes past, realizing that the isolation is permanent at last. Walk, don't walk, no more talk lost. We are wandering these lonely streets, under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Dark, dark, dark lanes, urban pains gone. We sat upon the wooden fence behind the ancient barn, watching farmers bundle up the yellow spinning yarn. The horizon was a canvas filled with amber and apricot hue, reflecting in the drops of fresh and early evening dew. You wore a denim jacket that was frayed around the sleeve, creating a sanctuary where we both could just believe the world was spinning slower for a moment in the sun before the modern complications had officially begun. The radio was playing a forgotten country tune while we anticipated the appearance of the moon. You stretched your fingers out to catch the filtering light that separated afternoon from the approaching night. We possessed no silver coins or diamonds in our vest, but looking at your expression I felt thoroughly blessed. The shadows elongated as they stretched across the field, revealing every secret that our modesty concealed. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. I visit that old pasture when the autumn comes around, and watch the dead and foliage falling softly to the ground. The fences started rotting and the barn is falling down, an extension of the loneliness that paralyzes this town. The amber tint has vanished from the atmosphere above, leaving a monochromatic space devoid of any love. I check my wristwatch constantly to monitor the time, trying to recapture the rhythm of our youth sublime. You moved across the ocean to a city made of glass, where nobody remembers how the simple seasons pass. You chase a different fortune under artificial light, when neon signs illuminate the middle of the night. I wonder if your memory preserves that afternoon, or if the metropolitan pollution made you immune to the beauty of a sunset that required no display, except the simple magic of a day fading away. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the word you said. Hold the light, preserve the spark, don't let the sun go down. We are just two spectators watching our kingdom drown. The darkness is the ocean that is swallowing the shore, and we won't feel that specific warmth inside our bodies anymore. The spectrum is shifting from the orange to the blue, and there is nothing I can do to stay with you. Sun sink, eyes blink, darkness, 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 darkness. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. Golden glow, let it go. Dusk. You held a camel hairbrush and a palette full of gold, creating a landscape that was wondrous to behold. You brushed away the blemishes, the anger and the grease, replacing all our arguments with images of peace. I stood behind your easel in the chilly basement flat, admiring how you hid the stains upon the welcome mat. We manufactured happiness with pigment and with oil to cover up the toxicity inside our native soil. The canvas was a barrier against the outside storm, where we pretended everything was cozy, safe and warm. You drew a perfect family beside a roaring fire, concealing all the boundaries of your unfulfilled desire. But varnish cannot stabilize a structural decay, and turpentine will dissolve the finest display. The portrait started cracking when the humidity arose, exposing all the misery under your graceful pose. Pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusions look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. Colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. I found your old sketchbooks in a wooden storage chest, containing all the charcoal drawings you had suppressed. The raw sketches revealed a very different state of mind, a darker narrative that you had purposefully aligned. There were no happy meadows or a shining sunny beach, just desperate figures reaching out for things beyond their reach. I realized then that honesty was something you eschewed, preferring a depiction that was elegantly glued. I walk around the gallery of our departed years and notice how the watercolor matches with my tears. The exhibition is closed now, but the inventory stays, a catalog of falsity that occupied our days. You were a clever artist, but you couldn't paint a heart that stayed together when the reality tore it apart. The frame is splintering under the atmospheric weight of tragic exhibition of our artificial faith. The pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusion look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Smear the acrylics, slice the linen cloth in two. There is no longer a requirement to paint a picture of you. The gallery is empty and the patrons have all fled. We are just two models whose relationship is dead. Throw away the brushes, spill the solvent on the floor, because we are not posing for each other anymore. Strip the paint, see the scar. Who we are, we are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Fading shades, beauty fades blank. I tasted the dark marmalade you left upon the plate, a flavor profile that matches our contemporary state. A little bit of sugary sweetness at the very start, followed by an astringent bite that punctures the heart. We cultivated a recipe that was complex and refined, blending the ingredients that our personalities aligned. But the ratio was faulty and the mixture turned sour, leaving an unpleasant aftertaste at this final hour. I remember the honeymoon phase in the orchard by the farm, when every single syllable possessed a therapeutic charm. We picked fresh strawberries from the bushes in the field, savoring the bounty that the fertile soil would yield. But the seasons rotated and the frost came too soon, blackening the vegetation under an October moon. Now the fruit is fermenting in the wooden storage bin, a toxic transformation that is occurring from within. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. Insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. I found a dark chocolate bar in the pocket of your vest, a confectionery treat that you had previously suppressed. I broke off the square and let it dissolve on my tongue, recalling the melodies that we previously sung. It was 80% how intense and severe, an accurate reflection of the atmosphere. We don't do simple sugar or cheap artificial treats. We prefer the complexity of these emotional defeats. The coffee machine is dripping in the pantry alcove now, as I prepare a beverage to make my final bow. I don't add any cream or the white granulated crystals. We are treating our farewell like the fire in the pistols, just a black boiling liquid that is scorching to the throat, a fitting accompaniment to the final note I wrote. We drink to our history and the damage we sustain, savoring the agony that permanently remained. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal, and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Separate the sugar from the gall when you choose to consume it all. Tonic, syrup, pour it out, pour it out. The end. Oh, we are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal, and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Sharp tang, doorbang, acrid. We spent our teenage summers under stadium bleachers, ignoring all the warnings from our worried school teachers. We drank cheap soda from aluminum cans, making grand, unrealistic, and magnificent plans. You had a skateboard with the graphics worn off, laughing at the future with an arrogant scoff. We carved our initials in the gymnasium floor, believing that our innocence would last evermore. But adolescence vanishes like smoke from a match, leaving only memories that we cannot reattach. The graduation ceremony came and it went, and all the sovereign energy was permanently spent. I see you working out behind a corporate desk, your wild hair tamed into something picturesque. We traded our rebellion for a steady paycheck, leaving the remains of our adventure a wreck. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in the adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight. The years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran headfirst into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. while we looked the other way. I found an old mixtape in the glove compartment tray, the songs we used to scream along to every single day. The tape is warped from the heat of July, just like the confidence that used to glorify our sky. I remember when we swore we would never grow old or conform to the expectations that the society sold. But the system is a grinder that is heavy and slow, crushing all the impulses that we used to show. You don't wear your leather jacket anymore, it's hanging in the closet by the basement pantry door. You're speaking vocabulary that is clinical and dry, without a single spark of rebellion in your eye. We became the very citizens we used to despise, with calculated answers and conventional ties. The playground is a parking lot of bitumen and stone, where we sit inside our vehicles completely alone. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in the adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran headfirst into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. And the vocal cords are tired, and the wild imagination is permanently expired. We are just two adults paying mortgage and rent, regretting every single moment that we casually misspent. Young hearts, old smarts, done! Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight. The years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran headfirst into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. You face long shades, age. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mist took the vision away. Now I am writing letters that will take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you were trying to thrive. You send me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is heating up the cables of our love, and the communication satellite of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. I check the maritime tracking application on my device to see a vessel navigating through the northern ice. You were thousands of nautical miles from this room, living in a climate where different flowers bloom. I wonder if the ocean air has altered your voice, or if your relocation was a permanent choice. I look at the map on my living room wall, realizing that my world is incredibly small. The lighthouse on the cliff throws a rotating beam, an artificial guide for a sailor's broken dream. But it cannot illuminate the space between our souls, or repair the damage of our conflicting goals. You are chasing a career in a metropolitan state, while I am stuck here bargaining with provincial fate. The continental shelf is a physical divide that mirrors the alienation that we cultivate inside. The salt water is eating at the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Ooh, swim across the channel, navigate the stormy strait, do something to challenge the maritime fate. But the current is too strong and the distance is too vast, and our physical endurance is failing us at last. So we stand on the beaches at opposite ends of the earth, mourning the relationship that gave us our worth. Lost at sea, you and me, and we are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Tides roll, vast soul afloat, afloat. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is eating up the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in the infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out. I shouted out your name into the cannon deep and wide, hoping for an answer from the solitary side. But the landscape was indifferent to the misery I felt, and the frosty mountain ridges refused to ever melt. The sound of my own voice came bouncing back into my ear, a mockery of passion that was twisted by my fear. You left without a warning on a Tuesday afternoon, leaving a vacant apartment that was cleared out way too soon. The tiles in the bathroom multiply the dripping faucet sound, a watery percussion while I stare upon the ground. Every statement that we made inside this residential space is bouncing off the plaster without leaving any trace. We used to fill the structure with our arguments and cheers, but the frequency is altered over consecutive years. Now the vibration is a hollow and a terrifying thing, like a broken copper bell that has forgotten how to ring. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words are lost their substance, but the noise is staying loud. A ghostly congregation, like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. I walked into the valley where we carved our monogram before the river flooded and destroyed the wooden dam. The gorge is full of boulders that have tumbled from the peak, crushing all the flowers that were delicate and weak. I spoke into the cavern just to test the acoustic grace, but the replication process was an absolute disgrace. It distorted all the meaning of the phrases that I chose, turning a confession into a parade of woes. The telephone is silent, but the static is alive, a technological reminder that I bonded, not survive. I listen to old voicemails that you recorded on your device when your tone was full of honey before it turned to ice. The digital compression makes your laughter sound so strange, a robotic variation that emphasizes the change. I disconnect the line because the feedback is too intense, an auditory punishment that defies all common sense. We build a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noise is staying loud. A ghostly congregation, like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Screaming loud and let it bounce against the granite wall. of this relationship are dead, and I am drowning in the feedback of the things you said. Hello? Is anyone there? No. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noise is staying loud. A ghostly congregation, like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Echoes fade, depths unpaid. Silence. Silence. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walked down to the postbox at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slot, reviving every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began to rot, and this final correspondence is the only thing we got. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. in a beautiful design. Be heard. Fold it up, seal the bag, let the postman do the chore, because we are not communicating anymore. Dear love, goodbye. To keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Postage paid, memories fade, signed. Signed. I walk along the perimeter of the industrial district zone, underneath the orange sodium lamps, entirely alone. The asphalt is shimmering from the recent autumn shower, and the municipal clock tower strikes the midnight hour. I pass the storefronts with their iron grills pulled down tight, a bleak urban landscape in the middle of the night. I remember when we strolled it holding hands in the spring, before our affection became a completely disposable thing. The alleyways are cluttered with debris and discarded crates, a geographical reflection of our unfortunate separate fates. I see my breath condensing in the chilly morning air as I search for your shadow in the public market square. But the citizens are strangers with their collars pulled up high, averting their gazes as they hurry quickly by. We used to own this neighborhood, we knew every single lane, but now it's just a maze that is amplifying my pain. The city planning commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. I found a graffiti drawing on the brick warehouse wall that we painted together right before the final fall. The spray paint is flaking and the colors are obscure, a visual reminder of a bond that couldn't endure. A police cruiser passes with an intrusive interruption to my memories of you. I turned down a side street to avoid the flashing light, disappearing further into the shadows of the night. The subway station entrance is a gaping concrete mall, sucking in the workers under the municipal law. I look down the staircase, but I cannot find the strength to traverse the underground system for its total linear length. I prefer the surface even if the wind is biting cold, because the subterranean tunnels make me feel incredibly old. I am a pedestrian without a destination or a home, condemned for eternity through these outer sectors to roam. The city planning commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Cross the intersection, ignore the pedestrian sign. Do something to bridge the gap between your world and mine. But the traffic is relentless and the engines are too loud, and your figure is swallowed by the rushing morning crowd. So I stand on the curb while the city rushes past, realizing that the isolation is permanent at last. Walk, don't walk, talk. No more talk, no more talk. Lost, we are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Dark lanes, urban pains, gone. I found a notebook in the attic space yesterday afternoon, buried under blankets from a distant, faded June. The pages were yellow and the edges torn apart, filled with scribbled drawings of a fragile human heart. You used to fold the corners down to mark the things you said before the heavy clouds of doubt collected in your head. We were young and foolish, chasing shadows in the lawn, never thinking for a second that the daylight would be gone. You took a sheet of lined paper and made a little wing, hoping that a simple piece of wood could learn to sing. We stood upon the rooftop where the wind was blowing high, ready to release our tiny glider to the sky. It drifted for a moment, then it tumbled to the ground, into the muddy puddle without making any sound. You looked at me with teary eyes and said it was a sign that everything we ever built would fall apart in time. And now the wind is howling through the rafters of this house. The silence is so loud it seems to terrify a mouse. flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. I kept that little glider in a shoebox by my bed, a reminder of the heavy words that we had left unsaid. The ink began to smudge until the letters disappeared, just like the happy future that we desperately feared. I see you in the supermarket walking down the aisle. You look away so quickly, but I noticed that you smile. A stranger with a history that matches up with mine, two parallel trajectories that never will align. The neighborhood is changing and they tore the rooftop down, where we believed that we could be the rulers of this town. The concrete replaces all the grass where we once ran, and time destroys the blueprints of our very finest plan. I wonder if you ever think about that windy day, or if you threw the notebook and the memories away. The gravity is pulling every dreamer to the floor, and we don't play those silly childish games here anymore. And now the wind is howling through the rafters of this house. The silence is so loud it seems to terrify a mouse. We try to hold the memories before they turn to dust, but every silver lining is beginning now to rust. Oh, we were flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. Throw it to the breeze, watch it catch a sudden draft, entangled in the trees. We thought that we were pilots, but we didn't have a map. We fell into the middle of a beautiful dark track, and you can try to fix the wings with tape and piece of thread, but you can never resurrect the words that we have said. It falls down. The paper always falls down. In the end, it's just a piece of paper on the ground. Oh, we were flying paper planes into the stormy night, hoping they would catch a breeze and somehow take a flight. But paper cannot handle when the rain begins to pour, and we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. No, we don't write those stories on the pages anymore. Just a paper plane in the pouring rain. I tasted the dark marmalade you left upon the plate, a flavor profile that matches our contemporary state. A little bit of sugary sweetness at the very start, followed by an astringent bite that punctures the heart. We cultivated a recipe that was complex and refined, blending the ingredients sense that our personalities aligned. But the ratio was faulty and the mixture turned sour, leaving an unpleasant aftertaste at this final hour. I remember the honeymoon phase in the orchard by the farm, when every single syllable possessed a therapeutic charm. We'd pick fresh strawberries from the bushes in the field, savoring the bounty that the fertile soil would yield. But the seasons rotated and the frost came too soon, blackening the vegetation under an October moon. Now the fruit is fermenting in the wooden storage bin, a toxic transformation that is occurring from within. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. I found a dark chocolate bar in the pocket of your vest, a confectionery treat that you had previously suppressed. I broke off a square and let it dissolve on my tongue, recalling the melodies that we previously sung. It was 80% cacao, intense and severe, an accurate reflection of the atmosphere. Here we don't do simple sugar or cheap artificial treats, we prefer the complexity of these emotional defeats. The coffee machine is dripping in the pantry alcove now as I prepare a beverage to make my final bow. I don't add any cream or the white granulated crystals. We are treating our farewell like the firing of pistols, just a black boiling liquid that is scorching to the throat, a fitting accompaniment to the final note I wrote. We drink to our history and the damage we sustained, savoring the agony that permanently remained. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Spit it out, clear the mouth, rinse the tongue clean, erase the flavor profiles that have come between. But the receptors are stained and the memory persists, a permanent item on our emotional lists. You cannot separate the sugar from the gold when you choose to consume it all. Tonic, syrup, pour it out. The end, we are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Sharp tang, door bang, acrid